I think that's going to happen. Don't worry. There we go. So I said it was going to start a bit weird. Anyway.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
Yeah, I told you it was going to start weird. For some reason, I can't seem to change it from to go to the. Oh, you be quiet. You to go to the. No, this one. But anyway, welcome back. It's been it's been almost a month now since last time. And no, I am trying to talk. Sorry, that was the tribble there. Yeah, it's been about a month now since we last played, and things ended on quite an interest. On a quite interesting every time predicament. But for those who missed it, and also for everyone else, it's I'm going to give a little recap. First of all, I know there's going to be a couple of new people watching tonight who haven't seen the stream before. This is based on the 2d20 system from Modiphius. There's a lot of home brew and modifications I've made to this, mainly because it makes it easier for me to monitor the game and the stream at the same time. Honestly, if I was playing it off stream, I would be using a lot more of the official rules, so just be warned that a lot of things you see tonight aren't always in the rulebook, but pretty much I'll say 90% of it is in some form or another. But first of all, I'm going to change something because I realise I've changed the timers as well, so just bear with me one moment. It's been one of those days. There. Right. Last time. After discovering the identity of the Admiral who has been causing problems for multiple people in Starfleet, including the Damocles, the crew headed to Earth, where it was discovered that she had departed under odd circumstances and had set up what could best be described as security measures, namely like a scattering field and bits and pieces like that. That ultimately resulted in a rather interesting incident involving a Tellarite Admiral and a Vulcan and an engineer who saw something they did never want to see ever again. We don't talk about that. Not long afterwards, after exploring the Admiral's office and investigating it, a lead was discovered that sent the crew over to Riser, wanting to keep the fact that an Admiral had gone completely off the rails due to Bendrazi brainwashing. This was decided to be a discreet mission to keep things hush-hush. Officially, the Damocles was going to Riser for rest and recuperation, but unofficially they were there for one purpose only: to arrest and bring back the rogue Admiral. On arrival at Riser, much to the displeasure of our Andorian security officer, a member of the Q Continuum made his presence known and challenged Tira to a little wager. He knew why they were there, but if Tira could accomplish her mission without violence or death in any way, shape or form, Q would help them out with a little problem they had, namely the phasing in and out shuttle in their shuttle bay. There was discussions, there was plenty of card-based games, shall we say, with the newest crew member, one Wakam Ra, being the face of the group. Think like Ocean's 11 almost. As he was the unknown, they wouldn't be looking out for anyone else. Unfortunately, things went a bit sour very quickly. And in the process, knowing what was at stake, Tira made a second bargain with Q, who would claim it at his leisure and at his choice at some point in the future. Eventually, the crew got the necessary latinum that they needed to buy their way into the good graces of the Ferengi, who knew exactly where the Admiral was. In fact, the Admiral was actually in the room with them. Keeping his end of the bargain, or at least the end of the first bargain, Q gave Tira the information that she needed to help stabilise the Forerunner. Using the technological expertise of one of the Romulan cloaking experts, Ven, sorry, I always get those two mixed up. Yeah, and I created him. Things ended interestingly. As the Damocles was coming into dock at Deep Space Nine, activating what could best be described as a modified pattern enhancer, the Forerunner was stabilised. Upon entering the shuttle from the future, something happened within the shuttle, and the ship, the Forerunner, completely phased out and disappeared. So, what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to cover up the stream stuff so I don't see it, because I don't get distracted by it, and let's just see how things start off. Tira, inside the Forerunner, although you've had quick glances inside, this is your first proper chance to really have a look inside this ship from the future, from a future version of Section 31, and let's see if actually the image works, because it didn't before, so just bear me 1 second. Can you see that?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that's basically what the Forerunner looks like on the inside. It looks empty, but what you can't see on the side here is there's panels, there's displays, there's everything else. The doorway is up at the top here. This is where you come in. But as you turn around, you see that from your point of view, from this side, it seems like a solid wall. There's no gap. This is almost perfectly fused together. Out the front, you see Ven. And you see her waving her hand in front of where the ship would be. Can't quite make out what's in, but it doesn't. She does not look happy. In fact, she's looking like she's starting to panic. And a few seconds later, she runs out. So in a moment, I'm going to put you on the map. Sorry, my bad. Okay. Wait. One more. There you go. So, Tira, inside this advanced futuristic shuttle,
That was built for giants.
it's built for big people. It's built for big people. I'm not going to say it's bigger on the inside, but it's a lot more roomy than you would expect it to be. Especially for what is a form of Starfleet shuttle. In fact, calling it a shuttle is a misservice. This is just a small ship.
I'm not the only one that thinks this is a very mini Star Destroyer, right?
it may have been inspired by the destroyers of some kind, but we don't talk about that. We're not cross the streams. not yet, anyway. So, Tira, what are you doing inside the Forerunner, having just seen your Romulan companion panic and now really starting to what's going on, sort of thing? Sorry, I apologise for snorting.
I go out of the shuttle.
Mm-hmm. Does nothing.
There's nothing outside.
Well, you can see the ship, but you can't see anything that's indicating that what's happened. It's just normal.
I try my comm badge.
No signal.
Also not to the bridge or to the other.
Nothing. You're just getting that sound that the comm badges make when they can't connect.
After some curbing that the universal translator doesn't translate.
It refuses to on the decency grounds.
Yeah. I'll go into the Forerunner again and try to make the best out of the situation and try looking through the database and get to know the ship
Okay.
while looking for any useful information for us.
Ah. So this is going to be, I would say, just to start things off nicely. I'm going to say this is going to be a engineering and insight.
Why are you always picking insight for me? I don't have a pluggable focus.
I could go with reason if you want.
Let me check. Nope.
Right. So shush. Right. Oops, I forgot to click on the wrong thing. My bad. Right. Ooh. Okay. So it's. I'm going to take that as a threat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you can't quite see it on the stream, but it's because I clicked. In fact, I'm just going to do the report so it pops up on the thing a little bit. So there we go. Now popping up onto the chat, you can now see it. And I need to increase actually the amount of threat I have to start off with. It should be 2.
Why are you noticing that?
Because I've.
Damn it.
Did you want to add another one? Right. Yeah. Although the ship is the Forerunner is a Starfleet vessel, however twisted and corrupted by this possible Section 31, you're able to pick up on a lot of the standard protocols that they've used, and yeah, it's as far as you can see that something's when you entered the ship, it triggered something. Something happens that you're pretty sure should not have happened. Fortunately, the actual file that you need is locked under security access.
It's locked under security access, you said. Let's hack it.
Go for it. Go on then. Oops. Didn't do it.
That's security and...
I'm going to say security and... What do you think? It's going to be insight?
Or reason. I mean, is it the same amount?
Let's go with reason, because you're trying to think your way through it, really, rather than trying to get an idea. So I'm going to say reason for this one. This is going to be I was going to say this is going to be a difficulty of 2, but you manage it anyway. No problem. Yeah, the system fights you a little bit, but eventually you manage to break through the security protocols, and the log says something along the lines of, I mean, you don't recognise all the terminology because some of the words just don't really make sense to you, but the ones that do stand out are phased, security, and activation. These ones stand out to you straight away. But in the meantime, I'm going to cut back over to Deep Space Nine, where the rest of the crew have disembarked. So, I believe at the moment we're going to go to what Racom's doing in his quarters. I'm going to move it back to the normal page for the moment. Just bear me 1 second. So Scooter, is that right? Yeah, I do. Racom. The doorbell to your quarters. Door signal. Dee-dee.
Fuck. Just a second.
No worries.
Hurriedly putting stuff away.
You hear the identification, I suppose you could call it, of Captain Prur. As he come.
God damn it.
Again, there's another. There's the door. Thank you.
I'm sorry, sir. Just a second. I'm rushing now. I'm just throwing things.
You sort of hear through the comms, "Are you naked?"
No, just need to clean something up, sir.
What? Oh, I'm coming in. Captain's override. You hear tapping on the thing. So,
I'll kill lights. Hopefully in time the lights.
no, the lights are on.
Damn it. Well, they would have been off.
Captain's override.
Damn it.
And Wilson goes, so welcome. What?
You ruined all my film.
What in the name of? What the
Why
hell
would
is that
you
smell?
turn the lights on?
What the hell is that smell?
So it smells like lime, gone off milk, and a heavy metal all mixed into, and like a little warm.
And you can see the captain is in the doorway. It looks like he's gonna chunder. He's like, seriously, what the hell is that?
It's just something I use. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it. Oh jeez. Okay, corridor. Now, he practically grabs you by the corridor and pulls you out. Right, we'll deal with that in a minute. Anyway, clean it. As I was come here to say, after your performance, that's going to stay in my notes for a while. After your performance on Riser, I've been officially allowed by, and he hands you a data pad. It's like to authorise your transfer to the. Oh Christ, that's going to give me a headache. To the Damocles as a permanent crew member.
Wow. I'm honored. I'm like
just
cradling the pad because I'm not touching it with my hand.
Though after what I just smelt in there, I think I may rescind that offer. Oh, seriously, what were you doing in there?
I'm just developing film.
What now?
Film, it's like cellulose with silver nitrate on it. When you expose it to light, it changes like positive and negative. You've never heard of like this before?
The best way to describe the captain's expression is when Intolic is trying to explain something very, very scientifically, and the captain just mentally drifts out.
My eyes just went cross-eyed.
Yes, you can imagine like his brain just go. Like the lights are on, but no one's home. Seriously, it's a good evidence to send Tolic down like I originally planned to. I did not understand a word of that. But anyway, there's a few of us in the.
Here, just, and I turn around and I like open the door. I go get the like disinfectant, the lava disinfectant.
It's like, look, we're going to be in Quarks. You need to meet. It's about
Here,
time.
use this. Put it on your hands. It helps.
Oh.
Don't breathe it in like that.
It's like oh no. Okay, I think. Oh dear.
This is a great start to my career on the
and
TV.
it's like, should my skin be going red like this?
That's the silver. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm going to head to the Medibay. You head down to Quarks, introduce yourself to your new first officer. He should be pooting around there somewhere. Excuse me, oh dear. And you see him like just run off down the corridor towards the turbo lift. In Quarks, as you expected, the crew of the Damocles are engaging in their usual post-mission. Let's get shit-faced. As you enter the bar, you see Tolic standing stoically with his traditional glass of water, but you see another Trill standing up at the bar with Davin. What drink is Davin having today?
Darren is having something in a very tall glass that's very, very blue, almost neon, and with a big, big curly straw.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be called, but probably something from Riser, to be honest, like a Ryzen.
Ryzen Sunrise.
Well, maybe not sun. Well, I don't know. Is the Ryzen Sunrise blue?
It can be.
Like a Ryzen.
An Andorian Sunset.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll go with Andorian Sunset.
We'll go with Andorian.
I like
Sunset.
it.
It's probably not actually from Andoria, but
It's just named after the
for
colour.
that.
Yes.
And
there's-
it's got 6 different types of alcohol in
Excellent.
that are all pretty strong.
Yeah, that thing's got a pretty strong tolerance to alcohol for a trill, so which is impressive. Because most trills, well, it's not that trills don't have a tolerance for alcohol, but it tends to be one way or the other. Especially.
Well, you know what? His tolerance has got higher since joining the Damocles. That's for sure.
It's drinking, getting bongoed after each mission will build up your tolerance.
I'm laughing, but actually, he probably has some very deep-seated issues based on the horrific stuff he's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a problem for another time.
Yes. Now, Tolik, you notice the rather startled-looking Wacom entering the bar. I don't think anyone else has noticed him because everyone else is like talking amongst themselves. There's Dabo playing in the background. So somebody else entering, not really standing out, but being the observant Vulcan that you are, you immediately recognise your new crew member.
Right. Then Turek will probably approach him. Lieutenant Wacom.
Hello, Tolek.
You appear agitated. Is anything the matter?
No, I just had, classic greeting with the new cap.
I do
Just-
not think it is possible to make a bad impression on the captain that would compare to his expectations. Do not be worried.
Well, I sent him to the infirmary. If he got there. I hope he got there.
There's a few people who are just walking past this point. It's like, I'm sorry, you did what?
Like, I didn't tell him to breathe it in. I just gave it to him. Look, just, never mind. It's just,
Okay. A few people take a sort of, alrighty then. He's all yours, Tolik, and just walk off sort of in the opposite direction.
I believe you should have a drink.
sure. Quark,
Yes. What do you want?
root beer.
Another? What is you Federation types in root beer? Brings out big glass from the replicator with what looks like root beer in it. Pushes it towards you. There. Wait, did I hear you say you sent the captain to the infirmary?
I didn't tell him to breathe it in. He just did it on its own.
Breathe what in?
I just take the root beer and walk away from the bar.
So it just gives you a fine, be rude. It's like, well,
Turek will follow.
I'm just sort of meandering around.
okay.
Yeah, Turek will not engage any further, but just keep an eye.
The new sociopath of the crew.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the next, not the new.
You've not only been, officially a member of the crew for like less than 5 seconds, and you've already tried to injure or kill the captain in some way. Welcome aboard.
He'll be fine. He just has a headache for a while.
Yes. So, getting back to Tira briefly in the shuttle bay. You've just seen Ven run, a panic look on her face. She just disappears and leaves and runs off, leaving the shuttle bay. At the moment, you're still in the Forerunner. The systems, all the power levels seem okay. It's you don't feel like you're being, having any problems. Everything looks like it's working. Just.
Like I said, I'll take the opportunity, and I'm thinking I have my tricorder with me, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you entered with your tricorder, but if not, so you did anyway. It's standard procedure. So.
Okay, then I will try to know that I've hopefully unlocked every security measures on the consoles. I will try to search the database for any information about the Bendrazi,
Okay.
about
You say
use
sorry.
Yeah?
So go on. I'm just writing
useful weapons against them, and the most important part, useful defenses against psionic weapons.
Okay. Right, let's do let's do three basic ones. Again, I'm gonna say that for these ones, these are going to be I'm gonna say, ironically, because you've now got access to the system, it's just knowing where to look. I'm going to say all three of these are going to be some form of security role, because you're looking for, I'm assuming, like tactical knowledge and things like that.
Thank you.
Yep. So I'm actually going to let you choose what edition you're going to pick for this one. So it's going to be security, and this is sort of represent how, if you're sort of sitting there going, I wonder, or if you're actually methodically going through and stuff like that. So you tell me how you're looking through the records, and we'll go from there.
Since
you've basically got full access now. So
I know that a certain one can never hear that, so I will say it loudly to myself. I will go through it logically.
Okay, so this would be reason then.
Yeah.
Okay, and these are all going to be difficulty 2, because although it's still a Starfleet-based system, there's a lot of data in here, and you've got to know where to look. So that's what's making it a little bit more difficult, is knowing what the correct commands to put in and what to do.
So just 3 rolls straight out?
Yeah, it's doing because it's going to be 3 separate rolls, because this will determine what you get. So we're going to start with the Bendrazi information.
So I need some advice. We have 1 momentum. When should I use it? On which one?
Oh, that's entirely up to the crew, isn't it?
Well, see how well you do for the first one, I guess.
I mean, the first one would be about the Bendrazi. The second one would be about the offensive, and the third one would be about the defensive.
Yeah, so you've got basically general intel, weaponry, defences.
I would almost say it's on, at least on the last one, we need some success.
Yeah, well,
technically speaking.
Yeah, well, I mean, but since they did wipe out a fleet, knowing what weapons they have would also be kind of...
Yeah, and maybe I generate some new one. You're right.
Well, all of this knowledge is going to become irrelevant if you never make it back off this phased out ship.
Yes.
So
that's a problem for future Tira.
Okay.
Don't say things like that in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Okay. Bendrazi, the information you get from about the Bendrazi, a lot of it is pretty much what you've already know. The location of their quote-unquote home world, the what's been dubbed the red wormhole, and the nature of it. You also notice that it's based on the information in the Forerunner, and you can see that this is within a few years of your current time frame, that they eventually make it all the way to what is some odd planet that's not on any normal Starfleet records, but it seems to indicate that it is, if it's not the Dominion's homeworld, it's a very important world to them. It's a bit unclear as to what this particular world is. It was of major importance to the Dominion, and they appear to have captured it, or they've done something to it. Again, the information's a bit patchy. It's not like it's missing, it's as if it's been deliberately not put in the system in the first place.
Okay, second one, weapons.
Okay, weapons. Right, very nice. Now, in this, there's there's quite a few weapons. Some of them are based on Romulan technology, some of them are based on Klingon, but there's three specifically that really capture your eye.
The ones we've talked about?
Yes, and I can't remember I can't remember which ones they were, so you have to forgive me if I get the names wrong. So I'm just going to say that one of them really does sort of make you go, ooh. Like, cause the sort of, it makes your antennas twitch with a, oh yeah, I like the look of that one. Simply the words, ion cannon. you think it's going to take a while for you to sort of fully study it, but if you're reading its potential power output, this could be an extremely devastating weapon. Especially when you see something about it arcing or jumping. Again, the wording's unclear, but it's you think. I mean, based on your role and based on your knowledge of weaponry, you think that one of these weapons, when it hits, will jump to another nearby target.
And it almost sounds like something of the future was shown.
Who knows? Who knows where this information may have come from? It could be made up. You don't know. But that certainly gets your attention. Okay. On to the last one now. Defences. It's going to be the same roll. Right. You realise that the psionic weapon requires... It's not going to work with shields. Defences. There's almost like a component to it that seems to use the shield's energy itself. But armour plating. A form of the ablative armour that the Defiant has could be very, very possible. It's, again, the words and the chemical symbols for it don't quite make sense to you, but you do see a note in the file that says that this is proven to be very effective against the psionic weapon.
And I download all this information to my tricorder.
Easy enough done. It's you pick up quite a bit. It's you realise that your tricorder, although pretty good for the age, is still extremely limited in terms of what it can hold in comparison to the Forerunners databanks. But you think you've got enough on there to at least keep the older engineers and the science people happy for quite a while. But back to quarks. Davrin, you've been briefed on your new crew member, and okay, and you've seen him walk in, but he doesn't seem to recognise you. I mean, obviously from his point of view, he doesn't know who you are. So,
I mean, we did share an intense encounter in which people were shot.
That's the thing. It's like he's walked in, but he doesn't seem to recognise you. It's like he's thinking about something else almost. Is that sort of what's the word? Distracted? Is that a good word? Yeah, it was like he's distracted. Like he's not really...
It's okay. Rawl is not very socially aware anyway. So,
but
when he's hanging out with the Vulcan in the corner, so I mean.
But are you hanging out with Tolik, or is Tolik just hanging out about 5 meters away, staring at you?
I can Rawl considers that to be hanging out, so it's really awkward for Rawl, probably not at all for Tolik, which is great.
Yeah,
for Tolik, he's just observing. Occasionally making.
All right. Davrin will consider it his duty to go over and see what's going on with Lieutenant Wakamral.
Yes, although you've met him before, he is now officially a member of your crew. But as you get close, you do notice I apologise for this. You do notice a odd smell coming from him. Sorry.
It genuinely has like a very limey smell to it, but it's like lime and heavy metal all in the same little pack.
I've smelt it before myself. It's an odd smell. You recognise it if you've ever smelt it IRL, but it's difficult to describe if you haven't. But yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I have not experienced that, but but it's not particularly pleasant. I'm gathering.
It's not.
It's not bad. It's not great.
It's just odd.
Just weird.
Especially on a modern space station like Deep Space Nine, especially when it's been brought up to Federation standards. It's like, in fact, you notice it, as other people in the bar walk past Wacom, you just see him go, what the hell is that? And just keep going. Nobody's really sort of blaming him. It's just like, hey, it's an odd smell. Where's it coming from?
If you've been around Klingons, this is nothing.
Exactly. No one's sort of like going, oh god, he's disgusting, because that might be a particular species' natural smell. So no one's being rude, but it's still.
Yeah. Davrin lifts his drink a little higher so that the smell of the drink helps mask this other smell. Just a wee bit.
Breathing in the fumes.
Yeah. I'm just getting alcoholic vapours in my nose instead. And he approaches fairly close to within a metre of Lieutenant Wacom and greets him. Lieutenant Wacom.
Sir.
No need for formalities.
Noticing them.
No need for formalities and quarks. You can call me Davrin.
Hello, Davrin.
May I call you? It's Ral, isn't it? Ral's the first name.
Yes, you may call me Ral.
Have you? Has the captain informed you of your reassignment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something seems wrong, Lieutenant. You seem agitated.
Well, it's like the first time I was formally meeting my captain. He comes to my quarters. I was in the middle of doing something. Not that. And it just didn't, like...
I can imagine Tonic's eyebrow going up.
He's in the infirmary, I think, so...
Okay. Davrin does his best impression of a Vulcan eyebrow raise. Nothing too serious.
He'll be fine. It's just... look, you've noticed the smell. Everyone notices the smell. It's fine.
Oh, what smell? No, I'm being sarcastic. Yes, I've noticed the smell.
Yeah, it's just a byproduct of the process they use to process film, which is an old-style art from Earth. It's photographic in nature, but it involves some heavy metal workage, and it produces a smell. And he came to my quarters where the smell was more pungent, and then I gave him some sanitizer to help him get rid of the smell, and then he breathed it in, and he kind of snuffed himself.
It's like an allergic reaction, basically.
Right. Well, that all seems to make sense. Just so we're clear, this is safe. This substance.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it all my life.
Okay.
I'm totally fine.
Well, that's all I want. That's all I care about, honestly. So, I mean, you're going to be doing it on the ship, presumably.
Yes, if my quarters are large enough to cut a section off, it has to be in complete darkness. For most of the process.
Chris.
Yes.
Are the quarters large enough to partition?
On the Damocles, yes, they are. It's to give you an idea of the scale. It's the Damocles is based on the Hestia class, which in turn was based on the Prometheus class, and the Prometheus is slightly bigger than Voyager. And you see what the crews are like on the quarters are like on Voyager. They were pretty spacious.
They were surprisingly spacious, yes.
Obviously, for all the crew members who had passed, but the Damocles gets around that by having a lot more automation than some of the other ships are required. So a standard crew member would have enough room in their quarters to do it. It wouldn't be particularly big, but it would be it'd be enough to serve the purposes of like a partitioned off darkroom.
You should be able to. Yeah, there should be space for that. Excellent.
I had an amazing setup on the Salish Sea. I had Captain allowed me to I was at the end of the quarters block, and I had my the little restroom there, and I was able to open one of the panels to open up the space and create a nice little alcove. It was great. I miss that ship.
Well, hopefully we can accommodate you in a similar fashion. How are you doing, by the way? How are you handling all that? Fine.
Ral hasn't done anything at all the processes at all.
Yeah, it's been pretty much since the fleet was destroyed. It's pretty much been go. is in effect, it's been like less than a week, pretty much, since the fleet was destroyed.
Yeah. So I'm Raw is lying to you, straight up.
Okay. Davarin, should I roll, Chris? I think Davarin's probably got the insight to know that.
You know what? It's great. Yeah. If you want to make an attempt at it, and then we'll say Brian, then you would be basically. I can put it. There's not going to be any difficulty. It's going to be an opposed roll. So you both roll, and then whoever wins gets the information.
So normally I think noticing things is insight and security, but could I argue the case for command?
I would say because you're doing it person to person and face to face, yes.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to do it like over like a vid screen, or just from reading the report, or from the scanners, then no. But because you're face to face,
I'm trying to assess a subordinate.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it makes sense. So I'm going to say yes for that one. So if we have Davin roll first.
That's not that good.
Okay, now
That's
Brian,
unfortunate.
if you beat that, you can tell him a porky. But if
Okay, what am I rolling?
Insight and command. And basically, if you get more than one...
his wouldn't be insight, would it? Because it's a deception. Maybe daring or control.
Correct.
Or
I'll say control, actually. No, that's the best one, sorry. Not with it today. So,
Control and command still?
yes. And if you beat one, then you can tell a porky. But if you don't, you have to tell the truth.
Well, he can still tell a porky, I'll just know.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so you
wait.
may die.
Why did you only roll one die?
I don't know.
Roll again.
It's on.
Well, he won anyway. So.
No, roll again. Do it properly. Roll again. Because you're supposed to... Oh, well, you got two. So okay.
Fine.
Good.
So, in that case, Davrin...
We don't know each other enough.
Yeah. Davrin takes that at face value, or seems to anyway. And, look, I think it's only fair to warn you. I mean, you probably realise this already, but we're pretty much on the front lines of everything that's going on. So there's going to be some intense stuff, more than other ships might consider a fair share. So I'm glad you're doing well, but if you ever need to talk, and obviously perhaps see a professional first, but if you need to, you can.
Thanks.
So,
Really awkward thanks.
Yeah.
whilst this awkward conversation is going on, Tolik, something's bothering you. You're noticing something is missing, or to be more exact, someone.
It's too quiet.
Yes, now you've never known the Andorian security officer to miss the post-mission booze up. That is the standard de rigueur for the Damocles crew. I mean, in fact, she's normally the first one at the bar buying the rounds.
Todek to Tira?
There's no response.
Todek to Damocles?
Damocles, yes, Commander Tolik.
Where?
Sorry, did I say Commander? I'm sorry.
What are the whereabouts of Lieutenant Tira?
I thought she'd gone to Deep Space Nine, sir.
Fascinating.
I know she said there's something to attend to just before we docked, but as far as I'm aware, she's normally the first one in Quark's barge. I mean, maybe she's in the Hollow Suite. You know how she likes to go on those crazy adventures with First and all the other Jem'Hadars. There's a phrase I never thought to hear myself say. But I'm sorry I couldn't help you. Sorry.
Could you check with Ops?
Yes, certainly. One moment. I'll be right back. Beep, beep. And you hear that there's the disconnect. Yeah, you look around the bar. You do see a few Andorians, but none of them match the one you know. A few seconds later, you do hear Damocles to Tolik.
Todek?
Apparently, we have no record of Tira arriving on the station.
maybe you should inform the captain about this.
I would attempt to, but apparently he's in. He's in medical bay. So he's in the medi bay because of an extreme allergic reaction to something he huffed. And you can almost like, yeah, I don't exactly know what that means, sir, but from all accounts, the medical doctor on the doctor on duty said that he's having not so much having trouble breathing, but he's advising that the captain doesn't talk for a while.
Acknowledged.
God, I killed the captain already.
I shall return to the ship momentarily.
Very well.
And Tulloch will end the call and then collect Devlin and motion to Wacom to follow.
Okay.
What's going on?
It appears our security officer has vanished.
Do you want to define vanished for me?
Her present whereabouts are unknown.
It's like that was just perfect. I would just like
Yeah, Vulcans love an opportunity to define something.
yes.
She is has neither remained on the Damocles nor is she here on Deep Space Nine.
Okay. Well, she got on the ship with us. Yeah, she is. So there's no record of her getting onto Deep Space Nine.
That is correct.
So the likelihood is that if she did vanish, it was on the ship.
Or she took a shuttle.
We can
We'd have a record of that, would we not?
Yes.
we can
Although, if anyone could
consult the logs.
those records.
Yeah. Officially, yes, you would have a
So-
record of any shuttles being launched.
A
Officially.
working hypothesis would be that she is in a shuttle.
A shuttle, you say? Perhaps the shuttle.
Well, she wouldn't be in two.
Transporter accident.
That is
still
very
happen.
true, Lieutenant Wacom. Yes, I feel like the emphasis that I was going for there perhaps went over your head, but you will understand very shortly, no doubt.
Oh, brilliant. The sarcasm is fantastic. This is why I love this game.
I still have to...
Do I understand you told that you perhaps mean the shuttle?
That is correct.
Right. Right. Then yeah, you're about to see something cool, Lieutenant.
Okay.
And then we get there. There's a cut to where we get there, and I go, or not.
That is exactly what happens. All you see in the shuttle bay are arranged in a sort of hexagonal pattern on the area that Tolek and Davrin recognise as marked off to indicate that this is where the Forerunner is. You see what looks like, say six. Yeah, let's say six transport pattern enhancers.
So I take it nobody's been in here. Nobody's been stationed here. Otherwise, somebody would have noticed something.
Mm-hmm. Nobody's been in here as yet. No.
Yeah.
It's pretty much. It was to give you an idea of the time frame. This incident occurred just as the Damocles was docking with Deep Space Nine. So as far as everyone's concerned, we're either going to use the transporters or we're just going to go from straight to the ship, sort of thing, station.
Oh well, this can't be good.
Agreed.
Yep. I'll say the pattern enhancers look like they're still active.
Okay, so they're still active, but they have no longer fulfilling the purpose for which they were set up.
Correct.
Okay, gonna head over to the nearest computer interface.
That's easy.
And
There's loads of those.
see what the logs have to say about this.
Okay. Now, you don't even have to roll for this one because being the first officer of the ship, you've pretty much got access to practically every system on the ship. Unless the captain
Nice.
or chief medical officer has a valid reason for vetoing your access, you can pretty much get everything that's on board. Within minutes, So Vin
I think
seconds.
the chief medical officer, if he was going to invalidate me for medical reasons, he'd have to also invalidate a captain. So I think I'm safe.
Yeah, but no, it's more like, say, for example, if a crew had a not ship-threatening illness that they didn't want to discuss with the captain or the crew,
Sure.
they could use medical discretion to have that file or information
Sure.
put away. So that's the
Makes
only sort of thing.
absolute sense.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you see, you get the logs come up, and visually you see Tira and
Oh, we got a visitor.
Yeah. Oh,
It's another triple.
yes. Great. Now there's two of them. Hello, Evie. Yeah, you see Tira and Ven enter into the shuttle bay with, carrying the transport enhancers. You see him place them around the area that you recognise as the area where the Forerunner would appear. Now, you can't quite make out what's being said or done because this is just a visual log, but you do see that the Tira appears to be tapping away on one of the enhancers. You can see they glow, and you see that the Forerunner, almost fighting reality itself, slowly phases back in, and then just seems to almost solidify, for want of a better term. About a minute or so later, you see Tira go round the back of the ship and enter, and then there's a bright pulse of light, and the Forerunner disappears.
Oh, terror.
You see Ven looking around, a panic look on her face, waving her hands where the Forerunner should be, and then she just bolts out of view.
Oh, then. Davin to Ven.
No response.
Computer, locate Ven.
Lieutenant Commander Ven is located on Deep Space Nine.
Okay. Right. I'm going to contact Ops on Deep Space Nine and get them to track her down for us and get her back here.
Yes, it's. What do I say? We'll send us. Do you want us to send a security team, or do you want us to just be discreet with this? Because she is technically a Romulan citizen, sir.
She is, and she is also a bit highly strung. So discreet is the way to go, I think. Don't that she's done nothing wrong per se. I just need to see her very soon.
Understood. We'll see. I know her drift sensor. She can be very discreet.
Good. Thank
Ops
you.
out.
Okay, team. Until we have Ven back here to explain her part in this and perhaps help us out, we have a mystery shuttle from the future, out of phase with our reality, with a crew member on it. Thoughts, ideas.
I'm going to cut back to Tira.
Yeah, sure.
Now, Tira, you see through the view screen. You see your crew mates, your friends, walk into the shuttle bay. You see him give a puzzled look to where the Forerunner should be, and then you see Davrin walk over to the command console where he taps in, see him look what's happened, and occasionally looking back, and then you just see that. Ugh. Now you can't hear what they're saying, but you can see obviously they're talking and indicating to what's going on. But what are you doing?
Did we ever find out the rhythm that the Forerunner phases in and out?
It's about every 90 minutes, give or take a few.
How many minutes did pass?
It's been over 90 minutes.
Shit.
There goes your one hope.
No, it's definitely been over 90 minutes. It's not exact, but it's like sometimes it's like 85 minutes, sometimes it's 95. But the general thing is like roughly every 90 minutes it would phase in and out. So,
You said there were three files with security, phasing, and
yeah,
that I discovered.
yes, you found the same. Basically, it's the terminology wasn't really something you could quite grasp at the moment because it is something that requires study. But you believe that something you did either accidentally or semi-deliberately when you started doing your downloads activated a security feature of the Forerunner.
Then I'll start trying to convince the computer of the Forerunner that I'm the commanding officer of the ship.
Okay, this is going to be. You can try this, but I warn you, it's going to be probably one of the most difficult tasks you've ever done. This is going to be a 5, even with.
We've not built up the momentum for that.
Even with your hacking and security ability, because this ship was designed to be flown by a particular group of people, and you're not one of them.
Okay, can I access any history files?
Yes, you can. Any basic files, there's a few. You do notice the Damocles has its own file.
I won't open that, because even if I overslept some lectures, I know myself around temporal dynamics.
Yes, you don't want to visit from the Department of Temporal Investigations. You know what they're like.
Exactly.
That, and we wouldn't want Chris to have to make up our futures.
Exactly.
I mean, they could help me, but no.
Yeah, don't piss off the GM.
No, but I want cross-reference some search inquiries,
Okay.
especially Starfleet officers that has been identified as telepathically controlled by the Bendrazi.
The only one that you could pick out is the admiral you already know about.
Okay, it was first a try.
Yeah, but you realise that information was never made public. Officially, and you're going through this record, you see that what was told to people of Starfleet and the Federation in general was that she was suffering from a rare version of I forget what the syndrome is. It's the mental disease that Sarek had.
Dormic syndrome.
Could be that one. We'll call it that for now. A version of that which, combined with her latent telepathic abilities that all Vulcans have, it just drove her insane. So officially, it was a tragic accident, all the things that happened at the Academy, but there's nothing in the public record that indicates the Bendrazi was involved in any way. Officially, she was just somebody who got very tragically mentally ill.
So that's good news then, because now we have kind of the confirmation that that Starfleet headquarters isn't already infiltrated by the Bendrazi.
It doesn't look like it's been compromised. You do see a few notes alongside the file that if she had stayed there any longer, more individuals would have become compromised. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense, and I think that's...
I mean, that could also be a report written by a completely compromised Starfleet to cover up the fact that it's compromised.
Exactly, you don't know. You're just seeing... This is just the information that is in front of you, and you're now making Tira go paranoid.
As if she wasn't paranoid enough already.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just being Tira's inner paranoia.
Yeah, it's like your inner Davrin is saying, but what about this? And your inner Tonic, like the two demons on your shoulder sort of thing. It's like, and Tonic is just going...
Tonic goes, actually, yes, that's logical.
Although for some reason your inner Tonic is a little bit more jovial.
Yeah, for some reason, let's go with that.
Don't know why, it just is. Just one of those things. Speaking of Tonic, I'm going to again cut back out to the outside of the Forerunner. It's... Yeah. God, we're not really that much for you. Tonic, what are you doing at this moment? Because I realised it's... keep forgetting you, not mean to.
Oh no, that's fine, because this would be engineering, which I suck at.
But there is science involved.
Yes, could Todek try to figure out some way to modify the phases? Maybe work on some theory that might bring the Forerunner back.
Okay, I would say good old science and insight. This will be a free though, because although this is a form of science, your speciality is more on the medical side of things. Although, like anyone in Starfleet, you do have a decent grounding in science.
Yeah.
This may actually be more Davrin's kind of science.
Actually, yeah. This is probably
I want
Davrin's.
Tolek to be able to do stuff too.
Could I help?
Definitely, yes. You can
Okay.
definitely help Davrin.
Let me see if I can give you any assistance.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, I can.
Yes. It's like,
Right. So, would the focus quantum mechanics be helpful for this?
I'm
Chris?
actually going to say yes.
Okay,
Because
so
there is because the way that the pattern enhancers have been set up and the nature of the phasing, it's sort of related to quantum mechanics, but
yeah,
it's like right on the fringe of quantum mechanics. If that makes any sense.
yeah, it's beyond, it's higher level quantum mechanics.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
High level
So-
quantum mechanics. Wow.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So that's my
Dizzying.
brain trying to think about that.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is I would say this is probably going to be like a science and science and insight again for yourself.
Okay. Not quite as good, but that's fine.
Mm.
Oh no! Well, at least I had the help from Tolek for the doctor.
Yeah, it's this. Although you've had multiple lifetimes.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, sorry. Can I re-roll because I forgot to put my focus.
Okay, yes, you can.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I imagine that David's just going.
Well, I've got the one there then.
Well, it's almost there at the edge of your mind. It's you thinking. I've heard about something like this before. But you're not entirely sure where you got this memories come from. Is it come from this particular host's memories, or is it previous one? You don't know, but there's something about this situation.
Okay. So here's something that Tolek maybe can help with.
Yes.
Actually, I forget. Tolek, do you do the Vulcan mind meld?
Nope.
Is that a thing you do?
No, that's the other one.
The other topic.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
Tolek can't help me draw that memory out then.
Well, I could maybe provide some meditation techniques that might assist in that.
Yeah, that's probably the best you could do. Without
Okay.
proper training, a mind meld is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah. Well, we won't be doing that then.
No, especially on Trill, that would be seriously dangerous.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's have that as a. If we can't come up with anything else, we'll try meditation.
Yeah.
Just
When in doubt, meditate.
it works. Tira,
Yeah.
again, within the shuttle, you can see your friends making gestures and pointing around, and you can almost see Davin like straining his brain. Like you see him going, it's like think. But again, at one point, he actually looks directly through the window at you, but you realise he's not looking at you. He just happens to be looking in exactly the same direction.
And I look at him. Think Romulan cloaking device produced chronotrons. Romulan
Just like,
cloaking into
telepathy.
chronotrons.
Yeah. It doesn't. I mean, from what you've seen on the ship, it looks like you could leave the ship. It's you don't know you're trapped in here, but everything about the ship seems to be working okay. It's just you're just phased.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that this phasing is local area. So if the Forerunner phases back, I should be in the Forerunner to be phasing back too.
You don't know.
That's why I won't leave the Forerunner.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's no supplies in here. There's not a replicator.
Well, I can try to see how fast I can spin it, shell the Forerunner.
you want to sit in the chair and just spin.
Yeah.
I'm going to regret this. Okay, you know what? Just roll me a d6. Just roll me a d6. You spin the chair once. Back outside the ship. So, not knowing what it is, knowing that the only two people who have any knowledge of what has happened, one has disappeared and the other one has literally disappeared. What's your plan?
Okay, so the pattern enhancers have stopped working.
Yeah, they've only got short power life.
Yeah. Could we... This ship, as I recall, is able to project the holograms all around the ship, right? Could we adapt them to be, like, in this entire room, to make this entire room a big pattern enhancer?
Not without some radical... this is something Davin would know. It's hollow emitters... although they could work in the same way. I mean, yes, you are correct. The Damocles does have pretty much ship-wide hollow emitters. That's a standard feature. But to reconfigure them to do what you want to do, that would involve pretty much dismantling the shuttle bay and rebuilding it.
Okay, so it's not out of the question, but it's definitely a last resort kind of
This
plan.
would be something that would require a while to do, and it's not
Short
exactly a
of-
simple procedure.
Short of meditation, yes.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a little more last resort from the meditation plan.
Yeah.
Good to know. But so Davrin
we-
thinks, okay, we could do this, and then he files that away.
Yeah.
Do we
Um,
know anyone we trust that could help?
You
Sadly, we don't know the queue, right?
Well,
Not that we
you-
trust.
Tolly,
Only in passing.
you would know this. Probably, ironically, the most, shall we say, qualified person to deal with this is your missing Romulan.
Yeah.
Right. And where did she disappear?
As far as the security systems were aware, she arrived on Deep Space Nine and seems to
Oh, right.
have disappeared, for want of a better expression.
How long has it been since I first asked DS9 to track her down?
Probably about 10 minutes, if that.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's not been that long.
not a reasonable period of time yet.
No. So it's, I mean, Deep Space Nine is pretty big as well. It's
Yeah.
It probably would take to go from top to a proper scan to go from top to bottom would probably take about half an hour. Especially if you're looking for a particular life form like a Romulan. So because that's like sort of okay, there's a Romulan here. Is this one? No, that's so and so. Right, okay, go to the next one and work their way through. But
Just in case,
Yes.
Tolek will hail Ops again.
Ops.
Tolek, uses Damocles here.
Hello.
Could you provide me with a list of ships that have left Deep Space Nine in the last, and I give the time frame since she disappeared to now?
That's easy. I can tell you there's been no ships, especially after, and you can hear there's a hesitation in the voice after what's happened. There's not been that many ships that, in fact, you are the last ship to have arrived. None have departed.
Thank you for the information. Tolek out.
Ops out.
So we should assume she is on the station or a docked ship. She is not out of our reach.
Do you want to help with the search, Dolak?
It is certainly possible for me to do so.
I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but we seem to have reached a bit of an impasse here. I can keep trying to rack my brain, but perhaps we need her back. So
So Tolek, yeah, we'll find a science station and start his own scans.
Yeah, there's always like the generic consoles all around the
Yeah,
ship,
I mean,
so.
if they do the trick, he will do that.
Okay, yeah, it's worth giving it a try. But I will say, Tira, looking through the window, something catches your eye. That's standing very close to Tolek right now. It just seems to it's like a humanoid figure standing very close to Tolek, but it's almost like a shadow for want of a better term, just like, and then just disappears. Yeah, only Tira sees this, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You said there was a great flash
Correct.
of light.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Oh no. I wonder if our heads and minds went to the same place just now.
I leave the Forerunner.
Okay.
Oh.
As you leave the Forerunner, you notice that the air feels it's odd to you, as if it's thinner. I mean, it's still breathable, but you've climbed mountains before, both real and virtual, and when you get high up the mountain, it's the oxygen in the atmosphere always feels like a little bit thinner. It's like there's less of it, and that's what you're feeling now, as if there's less atmosphere.
And then I call out for Vanak.
Nothing happens.
Do I see that flickering humanoid being again?
You do. The other side of the shuttle bay. It almost seems to recognise you and then just runs through the wall.
I run after it.
Through the wall?
I try.
Okay.
I'm out of faith.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, yeah, we're about to find out, aren't we? Yes, you are. You do. Boom, through the wall. Back to the shuttle bay in reality. Tolik.
The Forerunner faces back to reality.
No. As you're working on the console, you do notice that the screen flickers in a very odd way, almost staticky.
Lieutenant Devlin? Well, is it Lieutenant? Lieutenant Commander, sorry.
Yes.
You can use
It's a false vote.
Yeah, and it's not changed in Roll 20, so I'm innocent.
That's yours.
Oh, that's my bad.
It hasn't officially gone through to Starfleet yet. Okay.
All right, let's change that now. Yes, yes, Twilight.
I am noticing a disturbance.
And the Force.
When I did that, when Tira said she wanted to be logical. That's
Tira
tough.
gets stuck in the wall and dies.
He didn't hear me say it. Success. I survived. Yes, Twilight. So what kind of disturbance are we talking here?
There was a static-like flicker on the screen.
Okay.
What would Tonek may be able to figure out what caused that?
Just from a flicker, I say probably not, because it's. I mean, you definitely notice it, but it was.
Yeah.
You know that this is not a standard thing. Even when
Yeah.
Federation technology glitches, it doesn't glitch with static. It just sort of flickers.
So, abandoning the search for the missing Romulan, he will perform a scan of the room
Okay.
for any trace, whatever.
Right. Yeah. Most of the room is pretty much empty.
Mm-hmm.
As you run your, I'm not going to make you roll for this because it's such a simple thing.
Right.
As you're running your tricorder over where the Forerunner would be, you notice there's a big spike in what appear to be an odd mixture of chronoton and tachyon particles.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's what you expect to have coming from the Forerunner. So it's like, okay, yep, you know about that. You know that's where the ship is. But as you bring it around and you scan over the station you were just working on, there's a very faint trace of the same ratio of chronoton and tachyon particles.
I will relay that information as I get it.
Okay. Yeah. It's not a huge amount, but it's definitely... it shouldn't be there.
So significantly smaller than the ship.
Oh, majorly smaller. It's like, in effect, the ship is like, it's like a to give you an idea, it's like the ship would be like a star in terms of comparison. What
Okay.
Tonic detected on the console is more like a candle. It's there.
Is it in motion?
No, but it does seem to be getting weaker. The signal.
Uh,
As if it's fading.
Okay, Lieutenant Wacom with me. And we're going to try and move the pattern enhancers around this other signal.
Yeah.
Can Tolek track with the ship sensors track that signal through the ship?
Not from where you are. You'd have to go onto the bridge or engineering to activate
well,
something as intensive as that.
So Tolek would do that to give the other two a place where they can move the enhancers to.
Okay. Very quickly, going to cut back to Tira. As you approach the wall, and you see that the static creature, humanoid in front of you, run through it, and you brace yourself and run through the wall yourself. There's a really odd sensation of. Now, you've been transported multiple times, but this feels as if. The only way to describe it is like a reverse transport. It's rather than feeling like your molecular structure is being taken apart, it feels like you're being pressed and squashed as you push through the wall. It's an odd and unpleasant sensation, but something you can easily power through, and you find yourself in the corridor outside of the shuttle bay. See, there's a few basic crew members walking around. There's like the ones who generally don't go onto the station, and they seem to be walking right towards you.
Do I get out of the way and look for that being?
You can't see it around you, but the Damocles is a big ship.
That would be too much metagaming trouble.
Yes, we'll not have the metagaming tribble, thank you.
Can I? That would be not too much meta. Can I use my tricorder to scan for traces of chronoton particles that moved in a special direction?
Yes, you can. This will be science and let's go with good old insight.
Science and insight.
Yes.
Good
Should
luck.
I even try?
Because I feel like it. Okay, yeah. You are detecting chronoton and tachyon particles heading in what you believe is towards the front of the ship, or more accurately towards engineering. And oddly, you're not picking up anything else.
Tachyon particles too?
Yeah. When you run a tricorder scan normally, even if you're scanning for something in particular, you always pick up other things as well, like the background radiation, temperature, stuff like that. You're not picking up anything apart from a very faint trace of chronotons or tachyons. It's like the rest of the ship isn't there. Because for you, it technically isn't.
Okay, I can run through walls, and I have to get to engineering quickly.
Okay.
And I know the Damocles, right?
Oh yes. I mean, the shuttle bay is pretty much on the same what do you call it? Same deck as engineers.
Okay.
Try not to think about how you could just as easily fall through the floor.
Gravity plated.
No, but I thought I'd turn into a Kitty Pryde for some
However, to say, whilst you're not falling through the floor, there's nothing to stop you from accidentally going out from outside the ship.
Yeah. Okay, almost engineering it then, the quickest way possible.
But it's pretty much a straight line. Back on the Damocles. Tolek, on the bridge.
Yes. Or
Would-
my science lab, whatever's closer.
Yeah, I'll leave that up to you. It's you wouldn't be able to do it from the shuttle bay, but you probably could. In fact, yes, you can access the sensor grid from your lab.
Yeah.
Also, you have Archie there as well to take
Yes,
advantage.
and nobody bothering me, so it will be better.
Yeah.
So yes, so
Okay.
scan for that signature.
It takes you.
Send it open to Devon and Wacom to let them know where to go.
Okay. It doesn't take that long with Archie's help, although he does give you a rather quizzical look, and you notice he has been perfecting his not so much eyebrow raise, but it definitely looks like someone's drawn in pen on on his eye panels an eyebrow, and he moves that up and down in a Vulcan fashion.
Excellent.
It just looks like a suggestive waggle, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a Vulcan. Curious. It's like
That's fine.
yeah, we're complete with the slight squeaky noises as well. But yes, it doesn't take long. I mean, the Damocles is an advanced ship, and with those tweaks that you and Archie made over the last few months, you eventually do start to see a pattern of chronoton and tachyon particles.
Mhm.
But you see not one, you see two.
Fascinating.
And that is where we're going to take a little break for the moment, because I need to go to the gents. Going to be back in a couple of minutes, and yeah, we're back in a few minutes, so be right back.
See you in a minute.
Let's put shots on mute. I selected the wrong one again.
Hey.
Right, so back to the plot. So, I know there's a plot this time. I forgot where we was. Yes, Tolic had just discovered that there was not one but two chronoton tachyon signatures moving throughout the ship. You've got no way of identifying which one may be an Andorian. You just know that there's two signals, and they seem to be going in roughly the same direction towards. Looks like towards engineering from the shuttleway. It's like if you look on the map, there would be like indicator here, but another one in front of it, and then as you watch it, be like bleep as it interacts with like the circuitry of the ship, sort of thing, and then another bleep again. You're not actually seeing them moving; you're seeing where the effects are. Is that kind of makes sense?
Yeah,
I know what I mean.
Question, Tolek, you're reporting to us what you're seeing.
Yes,
Are you sending that as a visual feed to our tricorders, perhaps?
if possible. Yeah.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
That's easy enough to do.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Tricorders are frigging awesome. They really
Yeah,
are.
I mean, they're the ultimate cheat, really, aren't they, for the sci-fi storytelling?
They are. They are multi-tools basically, and they're highly
Yeah.
programmable.
Screwdriver.
Nah.
Yeah. So I have another. So Davrin's going to communicate with Tolek and Archie. Tolek, Davrin to Tolek and Archie. I think, or at least I hope, that we might be able to communicate at least slightly in one direction with Tira if we can just send the signal to the right dimensional frequency. We have records of the Forerunner shifting in and out of phase. If we can send the signal to the stage that we last have record of just before it phases out to wherever it is, maybe she might be able to hear some of our message. If Archie can get on the computational side of that immediately.
I already have, Davrin.
Thank you, Archie.
I believe what you are proposing is feasible. However, based on the current data we have, we would at most be able to send 5 words to the target before we had to recalibrate the signal.
So 5 per message.
Affirmative.
And I presume you haven't got any preconceived thoughts about how long between messages.
I would believe, based on the timing of the Forerunners phasing, you can almost hear, even over the conversation, you can almost hear him like sort of. Tolic being in the same level, you can see that his data bank lights are really flashing. Like this is like deep computational mode. It's the equivalent of a Vulcan just going. Sort of thing. It's his version of it. He's picking up a lot of habits from you. If he had hands, he would be doing the. But he does. Well, he has hands, but they're not really equipped for that. Approximately 1 every 90 seconds.
That'll have to do. Thank you, Archie. Let me know when you're done.
I am done.
Well, damn, you're good, Archie.
Yes, yes, I am. There's that hint of smugness in his voices. Again,
Okay.
Climbed
Okay, team.
his head in respect.
it's you've hung around with Vulcans enough, and although you've not really heard Archie impersonate anyone, you're definitely starting to pick up on the fact that he's starting to sound a little bit more like Tolic than normal.
Yeah, that's a bit of a worry, really, but that's a problem for another day.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lieutenant Wacom, Lieutenant Tolic, and Archie, I am open to suggestions for our first message.
Tumbleweed coming past.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is it. Davrin's like, what do we say?
Yeah.
I don't know about a message, and I don't know about tachyons, but I know that chronotons are affected by anion fields. Isn't that right, Lieutenant Tolek?
Would Tolek know that?
Yes, he would.
That is correct.
I imagine for something distracted him for some reason. I don't know.
So if
Okay.
we could, and anions are harmless to living creatures in most computer systems, we could flood the ship with anion emissions and try to pinpoint exactly where they are. I know this is a different problem.
Tolek, you see Archie put his hand up. I would advise that if you do that, you give me advanced warning, as those particles would be damaging to me.
We could leave out this lab.
I would be able to go to Deep Space Nine, but however, I would not be able to help you with other matters if you decide on this course.
Could we leave out the lab?
It would not be advisable.
Okay.
It would be easier for me and more practical for me to leave the ship.
Well, then let's beam him over,
I can help
So
you
we
from
don't
Deep
lose-
Space Nine.
so we don't lose time.
So-
Tolek to transporter room 1.
yes, sir.
Would you be so kind? Would you beam Archangel over to Deep Space Nine, please?
Yes, sir. Oh, any particular location?
Beam him to Ops,
Right,
and
sir.
then Tolek will make a quick call to Ops to warn them.
Oh, so that's suddenly an AI appears. So,
Yeah.
yeah, beam him over. And,
And while that happens, Tolek is like, Tolek to Deep Space Nine, prepare for the arrival of one of our crew members.
so, one of your crew members, who you say? Oh my! Oh, you sending him?
So we trust him enough with security to send him to DS9's ops now. Okay. good to
Tolek
know.
does.
There we go. Yeah. It's also one of the most secure locations on the ship. Short of ship station. Short of security itself. So, ironically, it does kind of make sense, but there's a few. Blimey, he's had a few modifications, and you're going, who drew eyebrows on him?
It's Johnny Five.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty much what it looks like.
Davin to Archie.
Archibald here.
Please submit the necessary dimensional frequencies to my tricorder every 90 seconds.
I shall begin computations.
Tolek will start the flooding.
There's. You do notice as you begin the flood that there's a few systems and the Damocles are not liking it, for one of those. But it's not damaging them, but there's definitely not liking it. You do get an immediate hail from the medical bay.
Oh dear.
Tolek,
EMH to bridge.
Lieutenant Tolek here.
What the flip is going on?
We are in the process of rescuing a crew member. I apologize for any inconvenience. And then Tolek ends the call immediately.
So before, it just cuts. Before you say it, just cuts very briefly over to EMH's medibay, and you see that his legs are now running around in a completely different direction to the top of his body.
Oh my god, this is like the first season of Voyager. Where
Yeah,
I've ever thought about the poor EMH.
it's like literally he's just like he can't move, and his legs are just running around the medical bay, just all by himself.
I forgot about the EMH. We didn't have one on the Sailor Sea.
Never mind, never mind,
Yeah.
Lieutenant. It's a fantastic idea nonetheless. We can always apologise later.
Yeah, it's not damaging. It's Tolly can tell from the scans. It's just the best way to describe it is that it's disrupting the hollow emitters all across the ship. So it's the best way to say it. It's not damaging.
Oh, I
it.
don't know, but it's in the hollow suite.
In the words of a
Oh,
famous
no.
human, in the words of a famous human, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead.
Oh my god, we're going to have triggered some sort of apocalypse level event in a hollow suite.
Yeah. I wonder what Lieutenant Ricky's up to.
You know, Commander,
It would be Ricky, wouldn't it?
If anything's going to happen, it's going to be him.
you know,
yes.
Commander, something about this is really, really familiar. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, do you want to make an attempt to sort of remember it, Wacom?
Sure.
Okay. That trouble again. Okay. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to say for this one because there's not really a memory roll as such on this one. You know what? I'm going to let you pick for this one. If you can justify it, I'll let you pick.
I mean, it sort of is a memory one, isn't
Because I'll be
it?
buggered if I can figure out which one to go.
I reckon insight probably.
Yeah.
But would it be engineering, security, or no? It would be either engineering or science. Because it's kind of both. I'm going to go flip a coin. I'm going by what my guidelines here say. Gain useful data or from witnesses, or devise a rough hypothesis from incomplete data. So it's kind of science, really.
Okay, so insight science.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficulty of 2 for this one. It's it's on the tip of your tongue, metaphorically speaking. It's you've read or heard about this somewhere before. It's a similar situation. It's gone. Whatever idea or memory you had, you just can't seem to get a grip of it.
But so it's something that hasn't happened to him personally, but he has read about or heard about.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so if Raul shares that with Davrin, does he have an opportunity?
Always Tolek. We have open comms.
That's
so.
correct.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say.
So if it's something that we may have read about in the
correct. I'm going to say that both of you can roll, same roll again with assistance, basically. So you get so in effect you get +1 to tonic. Oh, of course, it's.
Oh damn!
Oh,
Tonic remembers something about an incident of one of the ships, but before we come out, ironically, Davrin remembers it. It's always been percolating in your brain before, and again, you're not sure if this has come from Davrin or one of the previous hosts, but boom, the information just pops into your head. There was an incident involving a odd phasing on board the Enterprise, involving Lieutenant Commander Geordie Forge and Rolaren.
Okay.
It's like the names is like boom. What?
Okay. Yes. And okay. So there was an incident on the Enterprise involving Lieutenant Commander Geordie Forge. Tolek, can you get the record of that situation?
It's again, you don't even need to roll because you're basically plugged into Deep Space Nine, but the information boom, pops up on the screen. There was an incident when these 2 crew members were being beamed back aboard, and officially for a short period of time they were declared legally dead until it was discovered that they weren't dead. They were in fact in the same situation that Lieutenant Tira is in right now, or at least you believe so. Something else pops up as well, is that there was, looks like possibly a Romulan involved, although his name is kept from the records for security reasons. And looking at the file, it looks like this might have been redacted by Starfleet intelligence, this information. It's the system not so much struggled, but it was kind of reluctant to even give you this information to confirm that it happened. But anything more than that, it's basically a big fat nope from the computer.
You know, when you talked about chronotons and tachyons, it did ring a big alarm bell with me, Chris, and I did think Romulan influence. Wow. Okay, so perhaps. Okay, so maybe.
Do they tell how that was resolved?
Yes.
It is resolved in the episode, but for the life of me, I can't remember, which is why I said that it was redacted by Starfleet intelligence.
Ah, okay.
Well, damn.
That was yes. That was that's just me not remembering how it ended.
How dare you not have an encyclopedic memory
Well,
of everything?
technically I do, but that's just. Anyway, Davrin suddenly dies.
I'm a main character. I can't die.
Plot armor.
Tell that to Tasha.
I'm protected by the narrative.
Yeah, that's right. I went there. So, I was going to say Jadzia, but I was like, no, that's
No.
no, we
She
don't.
kinda
By
came
the
back
way,
anyway.
Tasha does not count.
Yeah, we won't go down the Jadzia route. No.
Okay. Right.
Well.
So maybe we have some identification of a source of us. Maybe, but could just be a big coincidence. We know Ven has, if not vanished, she was pretty startled by what was happening. Do we know where her brother is? Okay,
Have you tried checking for him?
we have
Well-
not. Tolek, please
Yes,
locate.
Tolek will do that.
Vess is currently located on the USS Damocles.
Where
Please
specifically?
specify.
Last known location, Shuttle Bay 1.
Yeah, alright. Hands up who didn't think he was a spy, though, let's be honest.
Sometimes you got to do these tropes.
Yeah. Okay, so fairly safe bet, our second signal is Vex. We have no idea which one's the one in front and which one's behind, but I would place money on the one heading towards engineering first being Vex.
Vex heading to engineering, it would be... Well, but if you can get them both in the same place, that would be useful.
Yeah, alright, so
Speaking as me now, then that's totally...
Davrin and Wacom are still wheeling the pattern thingies through to, and we're heading to engineering directly.
So,
You-
the
you
first
get-
message we should send to Tira would be head to engineering. That's only 3 words.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to use
is-
5. It's just you can only use a maximum
Yeah.
of 5.
Isn't it metagame Tribble? Isn't it fairly obvious that she's already heading to engineering?
Well, just to make
Based
sure
on-
that she doesn't take any turns.
Okay. All right, fine. So five words.
Yeah. So, Archie confirms you don't have to use 5. It's just it's the max. It's the maximum you could safely send before the signal degrades, and you would have to recalibrate.
Yeah. Okay. So head, engineering, Vex, possibly spy. Boom.
Boom.
Obviously, boom is not a word in that message.
That would be word 6 anyway.
Although it would be an appropriate word for that message.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that would be word 6. That did that.
Yeah.
So, Tira, as you again, I'm going to cut back to you now. As you are pursuing the staticky, shadowy figure, you do get a message come through in your combat. It's like it's straining to get to you. It's almost that's like sort of thing, but eventually you do get the message that the others sent to you, and then it just cuts out.
I'll try my best to answer.
You're not even getting the connection signal.
Confirmation. Okay.
Yeah, it's no.
So
It's like when you see it and they connect and they tap their com badge, it just goes click, click. That's what you're getting.
So I probably figure out on my own this is one-way situation. And about West being a spy, I just think, duh.
It was pretty much just given from day one, really. So.
Yeah, especially for Tira.
Sometimes you just got to make them so obvious.
So,
None of us are going to actually be losing any sleep over.
It's like, oh no, he's
We
a
should have
spy.
seen
Such
that.
a shame.
oh no, he died. How tragically.
Yes, your brother accidentally fell out of the ship.
So, yeah, where's my ghost?
From what you're picking up in your tricorder, it appears to be about 10 meters or so in front of you. It looks like he's just about to enter engineering, the main. What do you call it? The main chamber, the main deck, the main area, because it kind of goes over like multiple decks.
Can I make a quick jump and try to grab them? A quick sprint, not jump.
I was about to say, I sort of like a run and sprint sort of thing. Okay, and this is. Oh, I'm going to say that this is going to be a new one, I think. Well,
That's it, Darren. That's it, Darren.
no, I am going to say command and fitness.
Command and fitness, okay.
Or security and fitness. One of your choice.
Let's take security.
Okay. Because you're sort of like. And just barreling through the bulkheads. This is going to be. Okay, yeah, done it. Yeah.
What was it?
No, I was going to say 1. I was just going to say just the difficulty of 1.
Also, how much bonus momentum do we now have?
I'd say probably 3, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't really been adding it, have we?
Yeah,
No,
I just
I'm
noticed
going
that.
to say 3. That seems about right.
Yeah, sorry, you take that on yourself, so I haven't been doing it. Sorry.
It's all my fault.
Yeah.
We're going to blame everybody. So
I mean, to be fair, you are lost in another dimension. You are distracted. It's fine.
exactly.
I mean, Tollett got 2 on his last roll, and I got 3, so that we must have got some from that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to be generous then, so you can have 4. But from this point onwards, if you don't track him, tough titty. But then
Fair play.
Yeah.
But the same thing applies to me and Fred. If I don't record it, I don't get it. So, Tira, as you again, it's that weird pressure as you push, and it's really unpleasant sensation as you push through that bulkhead. The almost compression you feel is it's like the very matter itself is resisting. It's you again. And you look up and you find yourself in engineering. You can see there's a few kind of crew members walking around joking, and you hear comments about the captain being sent to the medical bay, but the voices are very odd and distorted. It's like listening to a communication signal that's been stretched, if that makes sense. It's like they're not talking normally to you. They don't sound like normal voices. They sound.
It's like the sound speed is maybe 90 or 80% slower.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to stay that way. It's like some people seem to be talking like higher pitch. Some of them even sound like the talk. It's just very, very odd, and your antenna is starting to itch a little bit.
But I'm not getting nauseous.
No, you're not getting nauseous. It's like, ooh, a bit of an itch at the base of your antenna, sort of thing. And in front of you, you are making out the shadowy, staticky figure, but they seem a little bit more clearer now, not as staticky as they were before. And they're looking at you, and they just point, and you hear sort of coming from them.
But I cannot grab them.
Have you tried?
That was what.
Oh, that was your jump. Yes,
I
yes.
wanted to
yes.
do.
Sorry. My bad. Misunderstood. No, you weren't able to. As your hand would sort of go to grab them, it's that same sensation that you had before when you was going through the bulkhead, as you pass through them. If that makes sense, it's like if you're out of phase, they're even more so.
Yeah, they're in a different phase.
Yeah, it's like the frequencies aren't quite the same, if that sort of thing. So you have reality, your frequency, and their frequency. The two are matching, but they're close enough so you can sort of interact.
But there's no standing still while I'm right at them.
They're standing like right in front of you, and like you can see that it's. As you're getting close and you have you get the occasional sort of flash of, as you correctly guessed, Romulan features, but they're looking at you and go sort of thing. It's like,
yeah, sure. That's exactly what she was. Yeah, sure. And I'll take out my tricorder and try to first scan. Let's just call him Wes, because it is Wes.
Yes, that's because it is.
I first wanted to scan Wes on his tachyon count and density, and then on myself to get the difference, how much fading there is.
As you scan both yourself and the figure in front of you, you notice that your levels are actually reasonably low. It's it's not exactly you shouldn't really be generating any chronotons or tachyons, but your level is low, but not to a point where you think it's going to be dangerous. But if you stayed there for a while, yeah, it might do. And you think that might be what's causing the itch on the base of your antenna. It's that sensitivity to the electromagnetisms. It's not pleasant, but you'll be fine. But the readings you're getting from the static creature, it's almost off the scale. It's almost on a par with the Forerunner itself in terms of the levels that you're getting.
Yes, well, that's not good.
Yeah, the creature's now just like sort of puts his hands up in the air and just like, and then just runs off. And you think he's heading towards the front of the ship even more so. But you notice he doesn't go through the warp core; he goes around it. Back to the other lot. Tolik, you see that the two signals are congregating, for want of a better term, in engineering. And now that they are standing still and you're able to refine your scanners, you do notice that one of them is putting out more tachyons and chronotons than the other.
Alright.
You can't sort of, again, you can't identify what it is. You just see there's one signal, it's like, say, like level 1, and then the other one is more like level 8 or 9 in terms of scale. And you do notice that it's almost the same levels as when the Forerunner itself phases in and out, that same sort of levels, chronotons and tachyons.
Okay. Gonna relay that too.
Okay. Davin, you get an immediate call from Archie. Lieutenant Commander.
Archie?
The system has been recalibrated. You can send another message at your leisure.
Thank you.
So, what are you lot up to now?
Do we want try to get Tira back first?
I don't know.
You know what? I really don't know, because at the moment she seems to be the only person in a position to actually do anything.
Well, she apparently she can't really interact as well.
Is there anything we can do? Sorry, yeah.
So
Chris?
we don't know that.
So yeah, Davin, you get an immediate call from Ops on Deep Space Nine.
And Commander Darren?
Davin, yeah. Yes. Sorry to bother you, sir, but we found your missing Romulan. She's not in a good way. She keeps rocking backwards and forwards, saying she didn't mean to.
Tell her it's okay, and Davin needs her help.
We tried, sir, but she keeps asking for her brother.
Well, tell her her brother also needs her help, because that's probably true.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that, sir. I'll get back to you. I think we might have to give her a sedative, but we'll.
Okay, well, just don't knock her out, for the love of whatever beings you might believe in.
That'll be the profit, sir, but completely understood. Bye-bye.
Okay.
So, at least you've located one of the Romulans.
Okay.
So
Right.
One problem
So
solved.
we have then sort of. She's in the state. Okay. Is there anything we can do on this end to block off the motion of the Vex through the ship? Probably not, right?
Again, probably not. It's again, this is something Davin would know. It's although the Damocles is an advanced ship, that advance comes at a cost, and that cost is that whereas some of the more, should we say, the more older, more understood designs, ship designs are easier to reconfigure and do changes like that, with a ship that's advanced like this one, those changes are complicated and will take a long time. Which is why it took Tolek and actually literally months to reconfigure the sensor grid, because it's, if you change one thing, it has a cascade effect and changes other things in the ship. Everything's integrated in ways that it's not in other vessels. So again, it's possible, but not practical.
Yeah. Okay.
Did,
Okay.
So go.
Go
did
ahead.
Todek notice that Vex went around the warp?
I'm going to say yes. It's. I mean, you could pretty much call up a. I don't call it like a map, for want of a better expression. Of actually, do I actually have a map of the engineering? Yes, I do. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to move you there so you can see roughly where things are. I'm going to. Okay. So, Tolek, I'm going to. You detected Tira, or at least one of the signals where Tira is now. The other one then moved to there. Okay.
Oh,
So I'm going to use. Where's he got? I'm going to use. There he is. Have I got his? Come on, have I got your bugger? Why are you not going on my map? Why are you not going on the? Okay, it's supposed to be basically where Tira is just there. That's what you'd be seeing. Okay. So, actually, what I'll do is I will. The video's going a bit choppy, is it? Okay, that could be it. I'm not getting any drop frames, so hopefully my internet won't crash out again. So I'll try and sort that out. There you go. That's where the two signals are. Actually, what I'll do is I'll close that down. That might help.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. Not much more I can do about that, unfortunately. Yeah, those are where the two signals are. And you see one of them, again, being very careful, doesn't seem to be interacting with the warp core or the plasma conduits. Seems to be going off in that direction. So I'm just going to leave it there for now.
does that help us?
That's what you see. That's you can't identify which signal's which. You just notice that the one with it's larger or more potent, whatever I would describe it, has headed off in that direction, and the other one is kind of like just sort of bimbling around that sort of point.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Do I notice that West doesn't doesn't come near the plasma conduits?
Yeah, that is obvious. It's the, I suppose you call it like the shadow, for want of a better term. You can see it. It's not subtle. You just can't make out any details. It's as if you're looking at somebody on a very dark day. You can tell there's somebody there. You can see where they are. You can see what direction they're going in, but you can't really make out any details.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you would definitely see that he doesn't go through the core, or is careful of not going past the conduits.
Where's our cloaking device installed, Chris?
Officially, unfortunately, I don't have an exact map because I'm using one of the tiles, but I have said that it is there.
So it's in that room.
Yeah, that's like the cloaking device room sort of thing, because it's near to the warp core, so it can tap into the energy.
Do you know what? My arsing was completely based on metagame knowledge, so ignore that. Okay, so the engine room is going to be at the back, isn't it? Near the.
It's reasonably
because
close
basically, the only thing I can think of here, guys, is we have the pattern enhancers. By now, Davrin and Wacom are probably at the engine room already, right? And we were taking the pattern enhancers with us. There's no point us chasing these signals through the ship. We need a point in the ship, which is at the edge, where we can get Tira to chase him back to, such as this engine room, have a pattern enhancer set up here, he has nowhere to go, and then hopefully he'll be brought back into phase by the pattern enhancers. Thoughts?
Okay. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, for some
Okay.
reason I can't seem to bring the NPCs onto the map for some reason. I don't know why.
Our next message should to Tira be chase him back to engine room.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
That's my thinking here. Or we pick another room which is at the edge of a ship and we can corner him. But we are here now, so
Yes.
um,
No need to push them around further.
yeah.
You mean-
So that will be it then, Chris. That will be my next
I'll
message.
say, to give you an idea, the ship is roughly from point to point. It's about 700 meters long. To give you an idea of the size, so it wouldn't take you that long to walk or run from one end to the other. Just to give you a rough idea of the scale. It's about 700, maybe even
So-
750 meters long.
In the hopes of possibly taking some of that metagame into the actual game,
Yes.
what since it's been installed, what might Davrin have learned about this cloaking device? Because as I recall, out of character,
We can say that with Davrin, this is his previous hosts and memories resurfacing.
because that's true. I actually have the talent for that.
Exactly. So
But I seem to recall that with the Romulan cloaking device, it does produce both tachyons and chronotrons.
it does. Yes. In
there-
effect, it,
And I'm thinking here at the moment, Vex is probably using some sort of localized version of same. And I was just wondering if we can somehow use this cloaking device to reverse the process, if we could jury rig it or something.
yeah. I mean,
Or, I don't know, use it to assist the pattern enhancers or
exactly. Yeah.
some
It's-
pseudoscience bullshit.
I mean, you probably talked with Ven as well about the cloaking device.
Yeah, well, if we can ever get her back here.
You found her. She's just she's basically in shock at the moment. So it's
Okay.
She's just. I mean, you've talked to her in the past. You seem to get on with her, and while she's not telling you all the secrets of the cloaking device, she'll get into serious trouble if that happened. You probably would have the idea that something like that would be feasible, but honestly, she would be the best one to operate or manipulate the cloaking device.
Okay, right. So,
And officially, she's the only one who's allowed to.
yeah, right. Well, we're kind of off a reservation with regards to official right now.
That's what I said. Officially.
Okay, so yeah, so Lieutenant Wacom, work on getting these pattern enhancers set up, please, and I'll be working on it too. But I'll also Davrin to Ven. Hopefully, she'll respond this time.
Davin?
Ven, I need your help.
I've done something bad.
We can talk about that later, but right now, I need you to focus. Is there a way to use the cloaking device in the engineering room to reverse whatever your brother has done?
He went through with it, didn't he? You're not going to believe me when I say this, but all you need to do is just turn on the cloaking device.
That's exactly the answer I was hoping to get from. Thank you very much.
If he's done what I think he's done, activating it's, and you can hear as she's talking, her voice is getting a little bit stronger, and her confidence is coming back. I mean, essentially, when the cloaking device activates, it is a very, very mild form of phase shifting, just like dipping your toe in the water, sort of thing. But if he's
Out of game. I fucking knew it. Right.
I'm sorry. What's that?
Sorry, getting excited.
Inside Davin's head. But outwardly,
In fact, probably in game.
okay.
Anyway,
But yes, if he's done what I think he's done, then yes, all you need to do is. In fact, why didn't I think of that earlier? That'd be it. Yes, I'll be right over to engineering. You hear it's like that engineering focus that when something clicks in her mind is back. It's I'll be right over. I'm going to get them to beam you. Where are you?
yeah, go use a transporter. Get in now.
Yes, yeah. Where are you?
Well, we're
On
in
the ship.
we're in engineering.
Oh, wait, I'll be right there. and it's less than a minute later. The beam appears, and I'm going to use tonic for the moment, unfortunately, because I can't. For some reason, it's not allowing me to import.
Ooh, what happened to the cameras?
Oh, that way it will update. It's it will update. It's somebody's temporarily disconnected.
Oh, we've lost Tarlek. So you can use them. It's fine.
Yes, yes. So, what's that?
Communications with the bridge have been lost.
Yes, it's slightly out of phase with everyone else, but yeah. Vulcans, Romulans, they all look the same. Yeah, no, I regret that. I apologise for my outburst. Yes, she appears and is looking around. And actually she appears very close to where Tira is, but obviously you can't see Tira, and it's quite startling, Tira, to have someone materialise right in front of you.
Hello again, as I recognize who it was.
Yeah, it's like, hi. And as she waves, it's like her hand actually goes partially through Tira. It's like, hey, I'll just go to the cloaking device, and you see it like.
Then, if you switch the cloaking device on, it will do no matter where.
So I didn't catch that.
If you turn on the cloaking device now, it will undo this no matter where he is on the ship.
Correct. Yes. Well,
okay, then do it.
Only whilst the cloaking device is active. It's you bought the pattern enhancers. Good. When he will still be slightly intangible, but he will be more. I don't want to say the word solid, but it's if you use the enhancers, it'll be able to help bring him and hopefully Tira, who should be on the ship somewhere, back into phase long enough. And then if you transport them from the enhancers to the oh, I'm jabbing. I'll go and sort it out. And she just runs off and.
Okay.
It's like, I recommend we disconnect from Deep Space Nine first, because this could be very weird. I don't think.
If we move the ship, and they can pass through walls, we might shoot them straight out into space if we move.
Very good point.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, talk it back. Yeah.
But they haven't been falling through the floor.
Excuse me.
Well, my question. Okay, I mean, I have a question.
Sorry.
We have had this ship. We have had the Forerunner phasing in and out of our cargo bay for a while, but if it's been actually phased out for a long time and we move, will it stay in the cargo bay, or will it reappear in another physical location?
As far as you're aware, it appears to have used the Damocles itself as an anchor point, because you've moved before when like a normal transit, when the ship has phased in and out, and it's always seemed to be in the same spot when it's phased back in. It's like
okay, so that's not a risk.
Point of reference. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. It's using the Damocles as a point of reference.
Okay.
I mean, you've moved. You've gone to warp, you've gone to slipstream, and the Forerunner hasn't.
Does Davrin or one of the other sciencey minds involved in this conversation think that same logic would apply to the people currently out of phase with the ship?
Based on what you've just been told, it would certainly make it easier for you to deal with the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds logical to assume that the people would be anchored to the ship as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what? We'll take the risk, but what we will do is we will shift a small distance away, and we will have the people in the transporter room already scanning the region of space we're leaving behind, so that if they do end up shunted into space and come back into phase, fingers crossed, we can rescue them.
Okay.
It's a gamble.
It's like you get Davin. I'm ready to activate the cloaking device when you are. Just let me know.
Well, I think if we activate the cloaking device and come here, turn it off. So let's just do it.
That's a good point. Okay. Activating the cloaking device now, and as it does, you see the warp core start to pulse as the engine power gets diverted from its normal course towards the cloaking device, and you see on the engineering what do you call it, Master System display, certain lights start flicking on, and something you recognise from when you've seen the ship going to cloak on the bridge. The same symbols are now popping up with a Romulan look to them, say, the cloak is now active. It's like I say, it's technically not bringing them into more phase with us. It's more we're shifting very slightly out of phase, but it might be enough to help. And
Thank you.
And as you're saying that, Davin, in front of you, you do actually see what appears to be a shadowy figure start to shimmer in front of you.
Turn it whack on. Turn on the pattern enhancers.
I turn on the pattern enhancers.
Okay, these are normal pattern enhancers, so I'm going to have to ask you to make a engineering and reason roll, please. Whack on. But because this is, I was going to say, I'll say it's a 2 because it's just non-standard. So it's non-standard protocol. So
Can I help with that?
I'm going to say yes because it's engineering.
Sorry, it was engineering and
engineering and reason, because this is the best way to describe this is it's
Oh no!
no.
Guys, we have momentum. Use it.
Can
I
Todek
will
help
allow you to
somehow?
retroactively use the momentum if you desire.
No, I didn't use it, so it's
Can
done.
Todek help?
Sarah, you're gone.
It's
Goodbye.
like Tira just drops through the bottom of the ship. No.
Well,
Can Todek do anything from where he is?
I'm going to say yes. I would imagine that it's your diverting power to the cloaking device sort of thing.
Or
from the-
whatever you want.
Yeah,
I will use 2 momentum on this.
to assist. Yes, Tonic saves the day. It's like you do actually.
Yeah, Tolek saves today.
And look at my engineering score.
Yeah.
Blue collar.
Yeah, on the bridge, it's like you can almost see, looking through, you see Davin and Wacom was pretty much like swearing at the pattern enhancers and pointing at them. It's sometimes you just need a Vulcan to do a non-Vulcan's job.
And he pushes the button.
Just literally just pushes one button, and the pattern enhancers flare into life.
He never spends any free time. He spent all of his days pre-programming macros for this shit.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
that's what Vulcans do. It's like, they haven't even turned them on properly. Beep. Linked in the ship systems, and boom, you do see the shadowy figure start to materialise, and it's.
Did the audio go funny for anyone else there?
That might have been me.
yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just for a second for me.
Okay, testing. How's it now?
Good
Can
for me.
anyone hear us?
Yes, well, good. I can hear you.
Yeah. So could you just repeat what you were saying before, Chris?
Okay.
Sorry.
You do see the figure in front of Davrin start to materialise more, and to begin with, you think it might have been this, but the fact there's 2 rather noticeable antennae sticking.
All right. Well, I was getting my phaser out, but now I'll put it.
But it's you can see the unmistakable blue of Tira, but again, there's still that it's almost like a pulse, like they phase in, phase out, phase in, phase out, phase in, phase out kind of thing. It's fairly rapid at this point. Tira, as you start to phase in, you do feel very odd. This is, I say, you've been through the transport bay enough times, and you know what it feels like. Even now, this feels weird. It's like your whole body is pulsing, like with this outside force and inside force at the same time. So it's boom, boom, but there's no sound, but you're feeling it. But actually, that's a lie. You do hear a sound. You hear screaming.
I look for where the screams are coming.
I'm going to move to Tonic token just to. You can hear him. It's basically there from that direction.
Okay, and I'm sure they can see me now a bit already, right?
Yes.
On the face.
Oh, yes.
Make the stop sign.
Yeah. You,
Okay.
you meet. I assume you stop the pattern enhancers, or
Well, we could try, but Tolek seems. Oh.
yeah. You're just looking at them. It's like, wow, they're working. Ah, they're working. But yes, it's
I know they don't have one, but I'm imagining pulling this big, chunky lever to turn it on and off because it's just more fun that way.
You are designed, and of course they have the big lever.
all good technology has a big shiny lever. And it's you can see that again it's a sort of a static. It's you can't quite hear what Tira's saying, but it's the whatever she's saying is it's like static to you.
Okay. But she made the stop sign. That was clear.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, you can see the gestures. It's just again, it's like looking at trying to see someone on a cloudy day kind of thing. Their features are slightly indistinct, but you really cannot hear a word they're saying.
Can we somehow refine the signal?
Yeah, I'm not going to get you to roll for this one. The signals are now very strong from the bridge, and you can see that one is pretty much standing right in front of Davrin and Wacom, but you can see that there's one very close by, and I'm going to actually get you to make a science and insight roll on this one because this is something odd about this second.
Okay.
signal.
What's the target number?
This is just going to be a 1 because this is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just whether or not you make the connection from what you see from the data. Okay. Something's very odd about this signal. It's paradoxically more out of phase, but at the same time, it's actually more in phase at exactly the same time.
No, we splinched him.
You're getting contradictory information. And this is not logically possible. Something cannot both be and not be at the same time.
It can't belong to Schrödinger.
Considering the existence of a parallel universe, are you sure that statement is correct? Or not sure that statement is correct?
Tonic is I mean, you don't know why, but it's the information you're getting back from the ship's scanners is that the second signal is both out of phase and not out of phase.
Yeah,
It's
my
exactly
question
the same time.
is he trying to get to the mirror universe?
Oh no, it's nothing like that. No, it's
Okay.
no. This is just
That would
phase.
be-
This is not.
That would be interesting, though.
No. Oh god.
If he's half in phase, that should mean that those of us currently in phase can go and find at least part of his body, right?
Stuck into a wall or something.
Well, yeah, who knows? But like in theory, if Wacom and myself were to go to wherever the signal is, we'd see something.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd see something.
Well, let's go give ourselves nightmares, shall we?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going to Cronenberg this shit. Yeah.
It's in fact, you know what? If you don't want to have more nights, I'll go on myself.
Oh, who's going out into the corridor then?
Be my guest.
I'm definitely.
Alright,
Because
there
I
is.
have to.
You can't see it on this map here, but this door where Tira is, there is actually like another corridor that runs along the bottom of it. So it's like corridor, it goes up there. There's another like minor corridor sort of thing. So it's. Oh, shush you. So who's moving? Is it David? You moving there? Yes.
I think it's just me.
Okay. So as you go into the, I'm going to be. It's getting to real what time it is. I'm going to wind it up a little bit. As you get into the that corridor, you do see, as you correctly guessed, this half fused into the bulkhead, and you can see he's just looking at you, and you just hear that. But again, paradoxically, he's flickering, but he seems to be more solid than the image of Tira. But it's enough that you just sort of, and you can see he's reaching out for you. He's like, his face is in agony. But you're not getting any real sounds from him. You're just getting as if he's like reaching out to like, help me.
Okay, Chris. What do I think will happen if I touch him?
You want to make it? Ooh.
And I will roll if you want me to. Obviously,
I'm going to say this is going to be a roll one because this is some weird shit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, and I'm going to allow you to use, if you want to sort of tap into your previous host on this one, because based on your memories of what happened on the Enterprise and the other file and information as well, it's you think. Actually, no, I'm not going to make you roll for this one. I'm going to say this is an educated guess because Davin's not stupid, especially with his quantum mechanics as well.
Fantastic.
You don't think anything will happen to either one of you if you try to touch him. You think, again, you've got no way of really proving this, but if you had to make a guess, you think your hand might just go through him, but because of the nature of the ship and the density of the material, you think that there's something about that is what's causing him to become fused to the bulkhead. You don't think it's an organic deal, you think it's something to do with just the very nature of the ship itself.
Okay, I'm going to reach out so that I've nearly got his hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to, over comms, tell Ven to briefly, for a 1-2 second burst, to switch off the cloaking device. And I'm hoping it will put him back out of phase and let him stumble out of a wall or something.
Okay.
And then once it comes back on, I'll be able. I don't know. It's a gamble.
So yes, that can be done. But it's that's screwed. And you just it's like it's very subtle, but you do see Vess fall forward. And
I sort of, obviously I can't touch him now, but I'm sort of moving towards him to grapple him.
A few seconds later, you see him become that weird, solid but not solid look in front, and it just drops. And you can see he's clutching what looks like his guts and his abdomen, and he's just rolling on the floor. And it's very faint, but you can hear coming from him. Tira, you faintly do hear this screaming still coming from that direction. You hear it clearer because you're almost in the same phase as him.
Okay. Can I touch him at all?
Yeah, you can. It's weird.
Because I'm assuming he's wearing some kind of suit.
It's not so much a suit, but you do see on his arm what looks like. Now you've seen the records of Voyager's hollow emitter. It resembles that, but it's a lot more bulky than that. It's got that sort of look to it. It's like if you had to call it anything, it looks like a personal force field generator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it possible for me to remove it?
I'm going to say yes. But as you grab it, when you put your hand through like a very thick liquid, it's that almost.
Yes, I do that all the time.
Like mud or something like that.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of.
Sorry, I was being facetious.
I know.
That's what I do.
Daphne touches him and suddenly dies. No, as you're grabbing it, you can feel it's like this. Like I say, it's like that sort of goopy, almost liquid. You almost imagine it be what touching one of the founders from the Dominion would feel like.
Ooh, okay, yes.
But it's space falls, rocks, everyone dies, or in this case, Transport Room 2 explodes, taking the entire ship with it. As you get it, you do feel this something about this particular device just feels more solid. I mean, to use the mud analogy, it's like you found a solid lump of earth in a pool of mud, and you can see that. Even though he's lying on the floor, still, and he just looks up at you and nods.
Okay, fine. So I've disattached the device from his arm.
Yeah, it's immediately.
And that is. Okay, so I'm pulling him away from it.
Yep.
Computer, I want a force field around this room, and after I get him out.
Okay.
And then
force field.
And then, EMH, how are you doing?
I still haven't got my legs back, but I have to recalibrate the hollow emitters again. Perhaps one day somebody will see fit to inform me when you perform these shenanigans of yours. But
Yeah, honestly, my most sincere apologies. Are you able to handle a patient?
well, half of me is, but technically yes.
I'm on my way. And I'm is Tira back?
No, Tira is still out of phase.
Okay. Crap. Oh, but she did not appear in pain when.
No,
That's wrong.
Good.
Did she?
no, Tira did. It does feel odd. It just wasn't in pain.
Okay. Wacom, get Tira back for us, and
Okay.
I'm taking him to the medical bay.
Right, right on.
Okay.
With the pattern enhancers, and you can see where Tira is now. She's pretty much, I'm not gonna say solid, but you can see exactly where she is. But you realise you're going to have to make a transporter roll to do this. So this is going to be.
No place like home. No place like home.
But I'm going to say this can be assisted by the ship. This will be a control in engineering assisted by sensors in engineering.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the ship.
Okay, yep. So bear me one moment. So just move that onto there. Okay, so let's do the ship first. Ooh, very nice. Yes,
Lovely.
very
That's a
good.
good ship.
That's very good. Oof, Tira.
It'll grow back. Come on.
Yeah, we were all thinking it.
Yeah.
At least I was.
You're not gonna like this.
Bye, antenna.
No,
Oh
it's,
no, that'd be the worst.
At least they can grow back.
But they're so sensitive.
I'm going to be generous and allow you to pick left or right.
Lefty.
You do feel as you are materialising it, you think you might actually be just standing on the edge of the enhanced transporter field. In fact,
No.
you think part of your antenna is actually outside the field, and whilst the transport skin feels very uncomfortable, you get a searing pain in your left antenna as you fully materialise in transporter room T1.
You say fully, but obviously not 100%.
Apart from the missing antenna, and this pain is just intense. It's like, I mean, to put it in human terms, it's like you've had one of your testicles removed in terms of levels of pain.
Also, I immediately fall to ground because everything is moving around myself. I'm heavily nauseous.
Oh yeah, you basically chunder in transport room 1, all over the deck. But for all intents and purposes, you are back. So, because I have to speed things up a little bit because again my back is really playing up tonight. Damn you kidneys! I'm going to cut immediately to the various epilogues that might be going on. It's Tira is in the medical bay. Sans antenna on the left side.
Let me check something really quick.
Okay.
Because I think we did something we shouldn't have done in story purposes, so
Okay.
go to other people first, please.
Okay, sure. I just meant you're just sitting there in the medical bay, just getting a quick once over sort of thing. It's not serious, just literally bzzz, sort of to make sure you're okay. But what are the rest of you doing?
Well, I would like to tie my epilogue to Tira, actually, so go for the others.
It's-
Okay. So Todek would try to be the non-treacherous surrogate brother for the moment.
Yeah, it's you. Ven does actually come and ironically to Tolek of all people, and it's because she can't bring herself to go and speak to Tira at the moment.
All right.
She feels incredibly guilty. Davin, she thinks she's let him down. Wacom doesn't really know well enough yet, but she knows that Vulcans can be discreet. So she's come to you and just. I didn't realise he was going to go through with it. He always talked about. Yeah, exactly. He always talked about doing things, but is she going to be okay?
I believe the Tira will make a full recovery. We have an excellent medical facility.
Yes, it's, do you know what will be happening to my brother?
What? How is it looking?
He's
Tedek
not-
would probably have looked in on him. Since
Oh
he
yeah,
is-
he doesn't look good. Although the Damocles has got good medical thing, he's not going to be able to stay on the ship. He is messed up internally.
He will require further treatment in a more specialized place.
Oh, do you think the captain will get rid of me?
I do not believe that will be the case.
Oh, that's
If
good.
you wish to stay.
I do. It's I like it here. It's I get on with Tira. With Davrin has been more than. Oh, you've all been like a family to me. More, ironically, more than my brother has. I don't want to go.
I shall, if necessary, I shall speak on your behalf. Your presence here has been very stimulating.
Thank you. And she just leaves, and you can see you've never seen her with this look on her face before. It's like she's really kind of in shock, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Wacom.
I'm at Quark's with my head down on the bar going, I can't believe I put 2 senior officers in the medical bay on my first day.
As you're thinking that,
On the bright side, different medical bays.
yeah, as you're thinking that, the door to Quark's open, and you actually just see the captain walk in, and you notice he's got a very bright red face.
Oh, God.
With not as bad as it might be, but you just see him look at you. He walks over to the bar. He brings over 2 drinks, sets one down in front of you, sits down himself and just goes, "Welcome to the Damocles."
Do you know I put Tira in the med bay too? Does he know that yet?
No.
Now he does.
So he's just sitting there going, just holding the drink up and just slow blinking. Like with a... He's not breaking eye contact, but he's just like, I'm sorry, what? Okay, Tira and Davrin.
Yeah, I just read up about the regrowth of antenna.
Yes.
The regrowth will go 5 to 4 months, but they can endurance adapt quickly in a few days, so it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's basically what I'm going to say is the next session you will still be affected by it, but the session after you won't be. So basically, just for the next game, you will have a few antenna-related penalties. So.
Okay. They're mostly probably about balance and something
Exactly.
like that.
Yes. And anything that your antenna would pick up. But yeah, it'll only be for like 1 session because they can regrow them, but it won't be pleasant.
And Tira's at the moment still in the med bay or already in her room?
Yeah, disappointing glare into the camera. Yes.
Is Tira still in the med bay?
Yes, it's just sitting in med bay. It's basically they're just making sure you're fine. You are cleared for basic duties, but it's even the EMH who has now reintegrated his legs back into his pattern.
I did that to him too. So.
Yes.
Then I don't have anything to do then, and they're just sitting, lying around when Tavern comes in.
Yeah, that's basically.
Well, I do not come because I took Vex in, and then somebody brought Tira in afterwards.
Okay.
And I was sort of watching over the patient/prisoner, and then my friend comes in injured, didn't have any reason to leave, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, based on the events of Wacom's, I clearly have not sent a report. So
No, not yet. It's like,
so
as far as the captain knows, Wacom's not left the bar.
so Tira sort of he lets the EMH treat her, and then he
Ouch.
strides over to her and he sort of stares at her with his arms, and his expression's a bit inscrutable. And
Yes, Devin, say it. I know
then-
what is those done.
and then from from her side he reaches around, shoulders in into a sort of sideways hug. He says, "Don't do that to us again." Then he releases her.
Aw.
And for the first time, Tyr, with her door just open, doesn't say anything to that.
I mean, remember, you still got your tricorder as well. Just a.
Yeah, that's after. That's why I was asking if Matt Bear or Matt Porthouse.
Well, you know that the EMH can be discreet when he needs to be.
And then she starts reading. And Devon, it was not
Yes.
all for fault. And I show him the thing. But look at this. I don't get the call of this formula. It reads like Trillium D, but that wouldn't make any sense in Federation ships because they basically kill Vulcans. But something is off with that formula.
You would
Okay.
notice this straight away, being the engineering type person that you are, that this formula, yes, it is based on the Trillium material, but if this was mixed with an ablative shell, this would have a very interesting effect on psionic energy.
This is good, Sarah. This is really good.
It's, you don't believe it would last long. It'd be we deployed this. It's not something you can mass produce. But you do think that for a brief moment, this would be a defense against a psionic weapon.
So, from the security officer to the first officer.
Yep.
Let's upgrade the ship and start to kick some Pendrazi butt.
I'll take this straight for Captain.
Okay. Yeah. Do you go to Quarks?
Well, I mean, if that's where the Captain is, yes, I do.
As you can actually see that the captain, and you do notice he's got a really bright red face, almost like a sunburn, which you, being a fellow Trill, you immediately recognise that this is an allergic reaction to something. He's just sitting and staring at Wacom.
Quark, another one of whatever the Captain's drinking.
Yeah, and it's like he's not actually taken a drink for the last 5 minutes, but he hands over. It's
Just staring at me.
yeah, he's just been staring at you for the last 5 minutes. Just
In that, Davrin sort of sits down on the other side of the Captain, puts this tricorder down. Well, he's probably copied the information to his own. He slides in front of the Captain and says, "Have a look at that, sir."
His eyes just flicker down. It's just ooh. And he immediately breaks contact with Vacon, puts his drink down, picks this up, and it's like, "Where did you get this?"
Well, I have a pretty lengthy report to make on this subject at a
Yes.
later date, but
Actually, no. You're going to do the report now, and that's when the episode ends.
No consequences for me!
Apart from missing an antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
Sorry.
well, hell of an official first day. So, poison the captain. Yes. Welcome to the Damocles.
as a sort of epilogue to my epilogue,
Yes.
Davrin wants to try and connect with Wacom and relax him a bit by asking him to show him some photography stuff.
I do warn you, his quarters will be pongy. Especially if it's
Yeah,
like a fresh batch of the material. Let's just say that it will be offensive to the nose.
Yeah.
If you
And
want-
here will be a very annoying patient who doesn't want to stand
Oh.
still.
Oh yeah, the EMH is not going to be happy with you, but he is not. Anyway,
Well, do you know what? We're going to have some in that med bay until the other patient leaves. So we could always just put a force field around a bed.
it's it could easily be done.
You will stay put.
First officer's prerogative to activate those fields,
Ah,
as long
actually,
as the
EMH. That's actually the EMH's decision.
oh yeah, but he can
Yeah.
if he doesn't if there's a medical reason not to, he can override it.
Yes.
But if it's for security reason, generally, let's just say generally the EMHs and most medical officers do go along with the senior staff's decisions, except for when it would harm the patient. Because EMH isn't stupid. He knows that it's a he knows his place, but he's a sarcastic bastard. But yeah, I'm gonna say anything now because damn my kidneys. Going to be continuing with some more Final Fantasy on Monday, which I'm having a bit of fun with that. And it's getting to the end of the current arc on there as well. Fingers crossed, there will be another episode of Star Trek Adventures in a couple of weeks. So I'll be streaming during the week, and thank you very much for joining me. And as always, live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Oh, prosper.
So done. And go to that one. That one.